My porch floor is always getting disgusting. This is Florida. So I did move my piece out here. So there is this one YouTuber that I watched like a couple of her videos because I've been noticing this trend with these interiors channels that I said that are boring me. And the only thing that really captured me about them is the fact that they'll do interior trends that they're sick of. Well, even that has gotten super repetitive. They're all saying the exact same trends. It's just the same video with a different voice. So there's that, but then there's this one that basically was saying, don't do this, do that, something like that. I really don't even want to say this person's name because I just look like an asshole if I say these things. He tries to give like pointers and stuff on her channel about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Like if there's trends, then instead of doing this overdone trend, do this, which I could agree with her on some stuff. But she did say this one thing that I just thought was so ignorant. She said that if you order a lot of new sofas these days, that it comes in this, what they call on their website, velvet, and it's not velvet. I don't know if she's uninformed. There's silk velvet, which is the most expensive. It's probably one of the most expensive fabrics on the entire market, number one, and it's definitely the most expensive velvet. It's not very easy to keep up with. It's better for pieces that are not used like hardcore, like on the daily. And then the other type of velvet is like synthetic blends. It's like a cotton blend. It'll be like a mix of cotton and polyester or wool. And so those are supposed to be a lot more durable, and they are not cheap. It's just they're not as expensive as a silk velvet. And the mainstream sofas, I don't care what price point, they're generally not using the silk velvet, even if it's like a $5,000 plus sofa. And that's just because of its durability is just not as good. They're more susceptible to like water, soils, and stains. They're just not. They fade really easily. They just don't clean up as well, and that's not really practical for like the average family. The polyester blend or the cotton blend or the wool velvets are just a lot more sustainable. They're a lot more durable. They're just better working for the overall family. And they feel super soft. They're very luxe feeling still, and she just called them like cheap because I guess she thinks that there's only like one type of velvet. I don't know. I be that she's getting mixed up the construction of the sofa with the fact that something's not a silk velvet. I just would suggest that she educate herself a little bit more on like what performance velvet is, the benefits of having your high traffic pieces upholstered in a performance velvet. On like West Island pieces, Mod Shop pieces. She showed a clip of it being Wayfair, and Wayfair sells a variety of brands, including Mod Shop, and Mod Shop's not cheap. If you know anything about Mod Shop, they used to be named Room Service Store, and I've gotten several pieces from there, and their stuff is good quality. It's nice pieces, and she was just saying that the Wayfair pieces that they call velvet. Well, if they call it velvet, it's probably because it is a type of velvet. It's just not the only velvet that you're aware of, you know? So she's giving all this, not only advice, but she's also roasting people's homes. She had the audacity to roast Dita Von Teese's home. Like, I understand not everyone's gonna like everything that someone does, but she just like she has like one or two videos of her own space and like her own style, and it looks very like if I had to label her style, it looks like something that it's very dull, and it looks like she just chose the first couple things that she saw on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist that she thought was decent quality and didn't really care about if it had any style to it or not. She just picked it up because she thought it was of decent quality. Person's style and taste is just very dull. It's very boring. That's just what I that's my personal view on her style. The few things that she's shown, but then the rest is like nothing but making fun of other people's interiors and stuff. So I'm just like, I was just hoping that if you're going to be that mean spirited that you got some bomb ass place, but you don't. So like, I was just thrown for a loop that you would get on camera and try to roast Dita Von Teese's place. Like, okay, so I get like we're all gonna have opinions, but I just thought you would have had more to bring to the table if you're going to try to rip apart a style that like you don't even practice or you don't. And then she proceeds to tell people that instead of buying these mainstream sofas, like I said, CB2, West Elm, a lot of these places that I don't even shop at, but I do have a newer sofa that does have the performance velvet, and I really do like it. I find it really nice, and I find it's very comfortable, like in terms of the fabric, but the structure of the sofa, it's a little firm for me, but that has nothing to do with the fabric of the sofa. So that just depends on if you want like a firm sofa, and you have to consider the construction of the sofa. It's not just the fabric. So anyways, there's like CB2, West Elm, all these like big name places that sell not cheap sofas that are upholstered in poly blend, cotton blend, velvet sofas. So I don't know. I'm just thinking that she doesn't really know that there's different types of velvet and why there is different. Like, she doesn't understand the reason why there's different velvets. So yeah, there's that. So then her suggestion to that with not buying like a mainstream sofa, which I understand, like it's very important to incorporate things from different eras and different styles if you're looking for an eclectic taste. The door just flew open on my RV. Then, if you're looking for more like to where you don't look amateur when it comes to your interiors, and you want like a collected over time type feeling, I'm all for that. Most of my house is vintage, so I'm not sitting here saying buy all new. Whenever you go into my house, most of my shit, I'd say 80% of it is vintage. But there are people who do not want a vintage sofa. I've had vintage sofas, I've had new sofas, I've had all throughout my entire time of designing for like 15 years. And I've bounced back between vintage and new. It just depended on what I liked, and so to tell people that they just don't need to really buy one of those sofas, or they just need to go search Facebook, or Craigslist is what she said. I don't even know if people still shopped on Craigslist just because I'm so up Facebook Marketplace's ass. But anyways, she's basically saying that you should source out used or pre-owned or whatever. And it's like some people don't want a vintage sofa. They may have a variety of reasons. They may really love certain things that are new on the market. So I don't know. She just kind of comes across like mean spirited and not understanding of what other people's needs are and what their preferences are. And I just feel like if you're going to come for people, you would have a little bit more to bring style wise to the table, And yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. I think I'm going to go inside because my camera's about to die, or my iPad, because I'm filming on my iPad. I thought that the trim for to cover up my staples would have been in by now, but it's not. It said by the 16th, and here we are. Today is the 17th. So yeah, I'd like to go ahead and wrap that up, wrap the upholstery on these two little chairs up. So yeah. So this little work setup here in my living room, I'm thinking about upholstering this vintage lucite chair in this fabric. I just love its iridescence. I did a grotto chair like that in my boudoir closet room. And then this is great because it has storage. It provides storage because obviously a tulip table doesn't provide storage. And then this Robert Slimbeck vintage 70s, 80s mirror. So yeah, this is how the fabric would look standing from over here where the back of my living room / my hallway, starting where my hallway is. So yeah, it's just a little casual little workspace. So yeah, we have this like lucite bench, this piece, these swan tables, like just so much tension, and I'm really, really digging it. So yeah, you guys, I just really love this wallpaper. Haven't watched much my channel, or you are new to my channel, so yeah, I have been doing interiors for about 15 years. I started when I was 20. That's when I really started like digging into it. I've made a video before stating that I've always really been into my surroundings and been inspired by like Barbie glam and stuff like that as a child. And I was always artistic as a child. I always drew. And I was always making things as a child. And so anyways, when I got to 20, after I'd been living out on my own for a while, that's when I really just like honed in. I grew up going to estate sales and yard sales and stuff like that. My mom was really into it, so it's something that I've been exposed to from me being a child. My dad was into high quality furniture. He was in the lumber business, so he was very like critical of different types of wood and quality, and that also transitioned into furniture. So anyway, mom did real estate for 20 plus years also. So I've been exposed to different types of homes and architecture, and my mom also flipped homes, so I went on board with her, helping her flip homes. So doing the renovation process and along not only that but the staging as well. I have a lot of experience with helping clients doing anything from entire like I said, renovation processes and the styling in the end, all the way to something as small as someone rearranging a vignette in their home. So it's a spectrum of things when it comes to interiors. People have hired me to do like quite a bunch of different things. It could be anything from art walls that I did to a salon nearby where I bedazzle mirrors. And so that, and then I'm also going to share a bunch of the different art walls that I did for the salon that's opening up soon. So yeah, the abstract walls, and then I painted abstract style a baby grand piano. I helped her along with some of the design process. So it could be anything from just like giving someone's like some advice and some ideas to like full on doing the whole room yourself, you know, like that's what interiors can be. It can be, it's a spectrum. And with the salon, you know, I just gave her some ideas and she, you know, took what she wanted from there. And, you know, so I worked with her in terms of interiors, and I also did all the art walls. And so yeah, I want to share with you guys once the salon is open, like the final reveal of any of the work that's in there of mine. But I do think I want to go ahead and share with you the at least some photos of what I've taken while I was doing the work there. So that's some of the art walls and the baby grand piano. And so yeah, I'll at least share that with you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much my background. Ever since I've moved to Florida, I haven't really pushed to meet contacts. I just happened to meet her through, she was buying something from me, a vintage piece that I redid on Facebook Marketplace. And so we connected from there, and I told her what I did. I showed her my work, and we became like this ever since then. And so I also want to share my mom's house, because if you didn't know, my mom bought a house here in Florida. I'm originally from South Carolina, so that's where I moved here about 5 years ago. And so anyway, in South Carolina, my mom still kind of lives there, and she's like up and down on the road a lot. And she bought a house next door, and so I've been helping her along with that also. So I want to share a lot of the different things that I've done there, like art walls, styling, just anything that I've done in there, some of my art. So I think in my next video, I want to share that. Set right here. So yeah, I'll buy vintage mirrors and brush sets and then bedazzle them. And I've sold them on Etsy to places locally. There's some vintage shops that I've had booths at. There are Facebook Marketplace and stuff. And so yeah, I can do custom ones. So there's those. I can do them in any like style or if you're looking for. So here up close is some more of my vanity mirrors. So I do use a mixture of vintage and new pieces, like new stones, or and then some vintage. And I don't just do vanity mirrors. I also have done shoes for clients. I've done for photo shoots. I've also done phone cases. So I can do an iPad case. I can do a variety of different things. It just depends on. You can just hit me up and we can talk about it. So yeah, I do. I love bedazzling. It's so much fun. So here in my closet room slash boudoir, I finally got my glass cut. So yeah, it just looks a lot more finished. And like I said, I'm going to add another little layer of skirting right here, I believe. So yeah, I have this vanity, and then I have the lucite one that's in my bedroom, but I don't really use that one that much because my husband loves to play his PlayStation in there. So this is just kind of like another little place that I like to come and get ready. And I just feel like, and even with interiors, if I'm not working with a client, I'm always creating. And I just feel like that's the way to keep your creativity always going and always building and always growing. And you just, pretty much my house is a laboratory and I'm a mad scientist up in this bitch. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I do. And definitely check out my other videos of my interiors. I'm going to keep uploading and keep showing shit because I'm always creating. So anyway, thank you for watching, you guys, and I will see you in my next video.